This meeting of the Atwater City Council of May 9th, 2022 to order at 6:07 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance tonight by, who wants to do the Pledge of Allegiance tonight? Pastor Millie, you'd like to do the pledge? And then our invocation with Chaplain Steve Mead. Please remain standing for the invocation also.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shall we pray? Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather here in these halls to do the city of Atwater's business, Father. We ask that you'll watch over everyone that is here. We pray especially for our police officers tonight, Father, as we salute them and go through Police Officers Memorial Week, Father, and remember all of those that have fallen. Father, we ask you to bless the families of those fallen officers, but we also pray for those officers that have been injured in the line of duty, Father, that have given their lives physically for this job and for the ability to keep this city safe, Father, and we salute all those officers that are here tonight. Praise you for our chief. We also thank you for the city council that sits here to do the business of this city. Bless them all, Father. Also watch over our fire department and our firemen and keep them safe. Amen.
Roll call.
Ambrose,
Here.
Button,
Here.
Kale,
Here.
Raymond is absent, Creighton,
Here.
Creighton,
Here.
we have a quorum.
Report out of closed session. City Attorney.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Council. Council considered two items in closed session, one related to property negotiations pursuant to Government Code 549568.8. Council received information and provided direction, no reportable action. Council also had conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. Council received information and provided direction, and there's no reportable action.
Approval of agenda is, or subsequent deed items.
Mayor, there are none.
Approval of agenda is posted or amended.
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Button,
Yes.
Creighton,
Yes.
motion passes.
Ceremonial matters. National Peace Officer Memorial Day is May 15th, 2022. And National Police Week, May 15th through May 21st, 2022. Who did I ask to read that tonight? Councilman Ambrose will read that tonight. I support this 100%. I just want to make sure that your council is also partaking in this and wanted to read the resolution to show show the support to you guys and how much it is important to every council member up here, not only just the mayor, but the council also. So you guys are extremely important. Our police officers, you guys do the work of the Lord out there, and we love you guys and respect you for everything you do. So, Councilman Ambrose, would you like to read? I think we bring all the guys down and we read it out here, make you read it in front of the podium, and we'll join you. So if you guys don't mind coming up to the center here.
Right there.
All right, let's hope I don't screw this up. First time I'm, speaking to a large group that's armed. All right. Proclamation, Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week, May 15, 2022, and May 15 through May 21st, 2022. Whereas peace officers are heroes who risk their lives to keep our families and communities safe, going to work every day not knowing what dangers might lie ahead, making tremendous sacrifices to uphold justice. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understanding the challenges, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that the members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence and disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception, and the weak against oppression and intimidation. And whereas it is important that we pay tribute to the peace officers who have fallen in the line of duty and recognize their sacrifices made by the families of those officers, as well as the families of those who continue to protect and serve our communities. And whereas it is critical that we acknowledge the dedication of those that continue to serve and who are willing to undertake the crucial roles and responsibilities of law enforcement officers within our communities. And public speaking, as you guys know, is not my thing. Honor and dedicate services of peace officers past and present. And whereas we honor the discipline and distinction our peace officers have shown in conditions we can only imagine, as they're continually called upon to remain vigilant and take courageous actions. And whereas, while we can never adequately thank our law enforcement for their service, we can use every tool at our disposal to protect and keep our police department safe. Now, therefore, I, Danny Embreeze, even though it says Paul Creighton on here, City Council member of District 3 in Atwater, along with the rest of the City Council, do hereby proclaim the day of May 15, 2022, and the week of May 15 through May 21st, 2022, as Peace Officer Memorial Day and National Police Week. In the City of Atwater, I call upon all Atwater to attend gratitude to our peace officers for their service to our city, and remember those killed in the line of duty, mourning their loss, and honoring the loved ones that they left behind, promising to stand beside our public safety community and to do our part to keep the City of Atwater safe and secure. In the witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and affix the seal of the City of Atwater this 9th day of May 2022.
Good job. And I also want to say thank you to our law enforcement. It is, without you guys, we would not have law and order in our city. And the only reason government exists is because we protect our citizens. So when I come and go out of our city, I know that we're being protected in Atwater. And it's because of you guys, and this council recognizes that, and this community recognizes that, and this community loves you guys for what you're doing. And we know it's not easy in these weird times that we're in today, and it gets harder every day. So we respect everything you guys do, and every day you guys put on that uniform and the badge and go out there and fight for us. We love you guys for that. So just want to say thank you, and be safe out there. We'll present to you. All right. Have a great night, guys. Thank you very much. And we're taking a few pictures, you said? Okay. Jonathan, do you want to take pictures? Can you get everybody in there? Perfect. So next up tonight, we have our Public Works. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So next up, we have... I know, but I'm trying to find the... There we go. I want to make sure I say this right. John's on my case right here. He said, it's National Public Works Week. It is. Can you guys believe that? It's National Public Works Week. The men in blue over here. Why don't you guys come on up here too? So National Public Works Week, May 15th through May 21st. Public Works and PD You guys are here 24 hours a day, 365. When you guys are home eating your turkey dinner at Thanksgiving, you guys come over here. These guys are all big guys. So when you guys are home having Thanksgiving, Button, come over closer. Come on this side. When you guys are home on the holidays, these guys make sure the water's flowing, the other stuff that's flowing when you're done eating, and the roads are in a repairable order, and the street lights are working, and when there's power outages, they get called out. So these are the guys that are the unsung heroes also in our community. They mow the grass, they fix the roads, they keep the street lights going in your neighborhood so you don't have a dark neighborhood. They got to do a million tasks, and I've seen these guys come into work every day, and they have a regular job they've got to do, and then there's what we call hot shots. I don't know what you guys call them at your level, but you get pulled off to go take care of weeds on Broadway, or you got to go out to, yeah, there you go, or at the Target shopping center or buy Tractor Supply because it doesn't look so good, and yet you still got to get all your other duties done for that day, and you guys do it with a smile. And I've seen every one of you guys out there, including the team that's not here tonight. Wow. Thank you very much. It's really important. And I love the blue shirts you guys have. You guys see it says 100 years. This is Atwater's 100th year. So we're going to start promoting that, and we have our first team of promoters out here tonight. So since there's only 4 of you, I'm going to pass the mic through, let you guys introduce yourselves, and then pass the mic back to Councilman Kale after Councilman Button and Ambrose have a word to say.
Thomas Roscoe from the Parks Division, dedicated to keeping the parks green and beautiful, all the trees trimmed and whatnot, so you can feel free to come up and say hi whenever you see me out there.
Hi, I'm Matt Travers, and I'm in Streets Department. I fill potholes, keep the street lights on, and weed eat the weeds and the sidewalks, keep everything nice, do the best I can. Thank you.
My name's Jeffrey Fowler. I'm with Streets Department. I do pretty much everything Matt does, including all of our trees, and I think that's about it.
Hi, and I'm Renee Macias. I oversee streets and parks operations on a daily basis. We have street trees, we have playground safety that we deal with on a daily basis. We have, scheduled mowing. That doesn't include the 47 acres, well, it includes the 47 acres of parks that we have, and I'm not sure how many miles of road we have that we have to cover with just 2 personnel, but we manage to make it happen. And every day in, day out, this is a workforce that we have to, we're missing one more guy, Leroy, our full-timer. He's actually, he couldn't be here today, but he's actually a great worker too, so.
You want us to say our thing first or wait until the... Okay. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being here tonight and letting us get to know your faces. This way we know who to complain to. But seriously, though, thank you guys for everything that you guys do for the city. We would look trashy pretty much without you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And it's one of those jobs. You guys obviously live around here, so when things look really great, people maybe probably give you a few compliments, but it's always, oh, well, hey, have you guys ever looked at this? And, and it's like, but they don't realize what you guys do and with the manpower you have and how efficient of a job you guys get it done. And, and we know that's the case. So we appreciate that. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a thank you to all the guys in Public Works. You're doing a fantastic job and make my job much, much easier. And a lot of you have had to step up into new roles and are doing a fantastic job. And we hear, like Councilmember Button said, we do hear some of the what needs to get done, but we're hearing more often how great everything is looking. And I do greatly appreciate the team for that and the recognition by the City Council.
Well, let me first say that these guys are always the nicest guys in the world, to me especially. Every time I turn around the corner, I see that white truck with our logo on it. They're always waving at me and saying hi. And they truly do a great job and are just the nicest guys. So appreciate this. And we'd like to dedicate a week especially for you. And there's the National Public Works Week May 15th to May 21st, 2022. Whereas public work professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, emergency management, and services that are of the vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities in the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the city of Atwater. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without dedicated efforts of public work professionals who are federally mandated first responders and engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. And whereas, in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children of the city of Atwater to gain knowledge and maintain ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and public work program in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2022 marks the 62nd year of National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association, Canadian Public Works Association, be it now, and therefore, I, John Keel, and the rest of the City Council of Atwater, do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th to the 21st, May 21st, 2022 as National Public Works Week. And the City of Atwater and I call upon all of Atwater to join with the representatives of the American Public Works Association and the government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees to recognize and sustain contributions they have made to protecting the national health, safety, and quality of life. Congratulations, guys. And let me present that to you. Thank you, guys.
Okay, so that was 2 in one night, but you see what the city of Atwater is doing, how important the city staff are, and what needs to be done on a daily basis in our community to keep it what it is. You know, we're striving to be the best we can, and with employees like this and programs in place that, you know, we can't thank you guys enough, and we're so glad that we have you guys. So thank you very much. Honorary Public Works, John Kale. Thank you very much. Greg, thank you also. You're very welcome. Good job. Thank you. Oh, okay. Be safe out there. Hi, Kel. Hey, how are you? Good. There's no attorney now. Yeah, nobody likes attorneys. Okay. Consent calendar.
Background information has been provided on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine. All items under the consent calendar are normally approved by one motion. If discussion is requested on any item, that item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
Okay, I'll open up the public comment now. Are there any members of the public inside the chambers who'd like to speak on item the consent calendar? So please come to the podium. If there are any items on the consent calendar the council would like to remove for separate discussion or possible action? None? Any members of the public? Seeing none? Council, what's your direction?
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
Motion by Kale, second by Ambrose.
Button,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Creighton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Reports and presentation of staff. Item number 6, waiving first reading by title and introducing an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Atwater adding Chapter 8.18, Commercial Blight Prevention of the Title 18, Health and Safety of the Atwater Municipal Code. Attorney Splendario.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, City Council. I've worked with city staff. Tonight we are introducing the Commercial Blight Prevention Ordinance, which is simply that, a code enforcement ordinance intended to prevent blight associated with unkept, unmaintained, and unsecured commercial trash bins. Specifically, it requires that lids remain closed except when in use or in the process of collection, prohibits storing bins on the public right-of-way, prohibits commercial trash or prohibits trash on the public right-of-way or visible from the public right-of-way, and requires violators to securely lock the bins. There are various enforcement tools that are spelled out within the ordinance, including the abatement orders that may be issued for a violator to lock the bins, or the city manager, although she currently does have this authority under other sections of the municipal code, it also give her the authority to require that more pickups per week are required, intended for the businesses that essentially can't comply with other areas of this requirement, of this code, of this ordinance, because they frankly just don't get their trash picked up often enough. There are traditional fines, administrative citations that also can be issued, and other remedies as well. And it also establishes other procedures and processes. One note, and I appreciate probably Mr. Director Thompson that communicated this, there's just a typographical error on the title. It should be Title 8 in Health and Safety, not Title 18. There is no Title 18, I don't think. Maybe there is.
No, I think the typo is just in that one.
Just in the introductory, yeah. Just in the title.
Chapter 8.18 still.
Yeah, so other than that, that's pretty much the thumbnail sketch of the ordinance. I covered all the major ticket items, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
I'll open it up to public comment first before I bring it to the council. Any members of the public like to come forward on this item, please come to the podium, state your name. Okay, I'll close the public comment. Any members of the public? None? Council, any comments?
So we're going to require them to lock the bins. Who's going to pay for the apparatus for the bins so that they can be locked?
Yes, so first of all, we're only going to require it if the enforcement officer deems that it's necessary, and they're going to have a range of options depending on what they're seeing in the field as far as the type of violation and why it's being triggered. But assuming they do require it, that part of the definition of what securely locked means, they have to work through our franchise waste hauler, and there is a schedule of fees that we have that is already established in the city code, and they can work with the franchise waste hauler to call them, pay for the fee, and have it locked. And the fee that's currently charged, I think, is $72. But I think it's important to note that that's actually less than our lowest citation we have adopted in the city for other code enforcement. So for example, the other option, the code enforcement could just charge $100 for the first violation, but then compliance still may not be received. So we feel like it's much better, it's money that's much well much better spent in towards compliance and actually dealing with the blight, not just finding people for the sake of finding them.
Right, and it also helps keep the trash and debris in all the commercial areas to a minimum, where if you're a business owner and you have stuff overflowing your trash can, then you really need to address that, what's causing that problem. And this gives the city an opportunity to have that discussion with those businesses and gives them avenues to address that and mitigate it before they're forced into that, so.
As,
And, well, Director Thompson, you want to comment on this?
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you. Yeah, and it also, with the new ordinance in place, it would allow us to implement that as a condition on new projects going forward. So it wouldn't be just a matter of retrofit, it would be a
So
matter
the
of,
new commercial would come in, they'd get the lock.
they'd have to comply with that as well.
Right, which would eliminate a lot of the problems we already have going on, so that's good.
so then if they lock it, we won't have somebody digging in that trash can and pulling everything out to find their own reward and then not putting it back. Okay, I'm good with that.
Bud, you have any questions? Councilman Ambrose? Direction?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Kale, second by Ambrose.
Button,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Creighton.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, public comment. I'm gonna open up the public comment now. Are there any members of the public inside the chambers who would like to speak? Wait a minute, I'm jumping ahead. My bad.
At this,
City manager update, then public comment.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. Just a real quick update. Mayor Pro Tem and I both attended One Voice trip last week in Washington, D.C., and I can guarantee you that the legislators that we met with know where we are located here in the Central Valley, and we've got a homework project for us. We've got several funding opportunities that we will be addressing and looking into going forward. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. How was what was the condition at DC? Was it nice? Or a lot of,
There is a lot of construction going on. There was a lot of fencing. I think some of the museums and things are opening different. I know the hours have changed. There were not a lot of things open late in the evenings, but
okay, good.
they as well have homeless issues back there and lots of tents around.
Wow, okay. Comments from the public. Notice to the public.
at this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on the agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on an item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and are placed on a future agenda. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
Okay. I'm opening up to the public now. Are there any speaker cards or
Yeah.
emails?
Yes, Mayor, I do have 2 speaker cards.
Okay. Are there any members of the public who would like to come forward to speak on any item? We'll let the chambers go first, and then we'll do the speaker cards, or do the same. Did you get the speaker card filled out earlier?
Yes, I received those prior to the meeting.
Who do we have first?
First, I have Scott Borba.
Okay, Scott, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott Borba. I live on 3060 Chardonnay Way. I attended a meeting in March. I've been a resident for 20 years. It was the first meeting I'd come to. Sorry. But this is my second one, and made a public comment regarding the importance of completing the Fruitland Avenue project. Left my name, address, and phone number, and then nobody from the city ever reached out to me to address my concerns. My wife, after narrowly avoiding a head-on collision on Valencia due to cars being parked along Valencia where they're not supposed to be during the dismissal of Elmer Wood, called the police department and asked them to do a safety check, and then also called the city hall here and explicitly asked that somebody call her back. Nobody called her back. We've gone online to look for information, and we saw section 2.3 labeled the project schedule of phase 3 of the RFP found on the city website. States that there's no anticipated completion date for the Fruitland project. It's been more than a year since I've been able to drive to Atwater High School with my kids, to our church, or even go in the Save Mart parking lot. I'm here again, getting increasingly more frustrated now due to the lack of communication. and what seems to be a lack of overall concern for my family and our neighbors, to ask for answers for these questions. Who is in charge of this project? What is keeping this project from being completed? If you're waiting for approval, funds, or bids, why did we start this project before securing all of those things? When will my family and neighbors be able to drive from our home to our school, church, or grocery store without having to cut through neighborhoods? Why isn't Fruitland Avenue open yet? If this isn't the right forum to request answers to these questions and this information, and calling City Hall seems to produce no response, how do you recommend we get answers? Thank you.
Thank you. So we're not going to go back and forth on a public comment, but I do want to address that since this is your second time, and I know exactly what you're talking about over in Valencia. So right now, the police chief and public works director are going to go to the back room right now and meet with you guys before we leave this room tonight. So that's unacceptable. We didn't get back to you. We on the council are unaware of that, but that is unacceptable, and we will resolve that tonight. So both the directors are sitting here tonight. Thank you for your comments and great questions. Any other members of the public? Speaker card.
Next, we have, I believe it's Ephraim Coriel.
Welcome.
My name is Ephraim Coriel. I live in 2309 San Gabriel Drive. This is the Castle Vista property. My wife and myself have been here about a couple of years. We love Atwater. We moved from Berkeley area. The people here are wonderful. The view is not as nice, but the people are wonderful. I'm bringing up the subject that in the Castle Vista area seems to be like a creek, and there's a road behind it.
Oh, the irrigation canal.
Unfortunately, it seems to be a lot of shooting, fireworks, 3 in the morning, kids screaming. I don't know if I need to run over there and save somebody, or but it seemed to be that that area and that property could be easily closed to access. I've been there, some trash, picked up some needles. This is kind of, there's been a couple of incidents where people have jumped the fence or to steal catalytic converters from the Atwater property and jump back. And kids throwing firecrackers over the fence, some of the older folks. The retired community, it's kind of, like to bring it up to see if anything could be done.
Yes, sir. Thank you. We'll have the police chief reach out to you before you go tonight, too.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're not going to go back, but you can
No,
sit down,
it's
and
not
the
on.
city manager wants to make a comment.
I just do want to let you know that I did speak with your manager there at Castle Vista today, and we've scheduled a time to come out on Friday morning to meet with your entire group there, with the police chief, myself, a community development director, as well as our code enforcement. So we will get some answers for you on Friday morning.
And also, you'll reach out to MID on access. Okay. Any other members of the public, any comment cards?
No, Mayor, we do not have any more speaker cards.
Any members of the chambers like to come forward at this time? Please come to the podium, state your name. Okay, seeing none, we'll close the public comment. We'll bring it back to council comments. Councilman Kale.
I just want to say that I thought, like City Manager Waterman said, we had a very productive and potentially very exciting investigation of where and what kind of money we could receive for the city. And the contacts that we received were well worth the trip alone. And the locking that we did was really hard on this old man's body, but we did it anyway, so it was a great experience to go do that. We've been waiting, Councilman Ambrose and I last year spent the whole time on Zoom meetings trying the same thing, and this was much, much better to be able to do it face to face with people. So I want to say that. And then that's about it.
Okay, Councilman Ambrose.
I have nothing tonight. Thank you.
Councilman Butt?
Just one more time, want to thank our Public Works Department and what the job that they do. They're part of that backbone and that pride that we have in Atwater, and why we're proud to live in Atwater. It's because of that department. So, I know sometimes that it happens with any job. Sometimes you go and things get a little bit routine, but I just hope that, the men and women in that department remember, what they do is a big reflection of our town and why we like living in Atwater. And then, our law enforcement and just thinking about, I think, what the mayor said about, and what the proclamation said about, the families. You think about the families and, when a law enforcement officer passes away, the families, they got to pick up the pieces afterwards. And I just think about them and, pray for them, and that, hopefully communities come around and support them, when something like that happens. And then a late happy Mother's Day to my mom and all the wonderful moms out there. So.
Well said. Yes, Public Works Week, Law Enforcement Week, a lot of great things going on in Atwater. A lot of new businesses coming in, as the Public Works Director was informing me earlier today, over on the Bellevue Corridor, which was decimated when the Air Force Base left 20-some years ago, is now going to be pretty much built out for the most part. The vacant Kmart building's getting split up a little bit into 3 units, I believe. So that'll all be filled, that whole shopping center. So people are still choosing to move here to Atwater, like our beautiful citizen over here that spoke tonight. It's our job to make sure we create a pleasant, safe environment for you guys to live and shop and enjoy and spend time with your families. And we're doing our best, and we can still do better. Staff will be reaching out to everybody that came tonight to get answers to you guys and get you in the loop and get answers. And then maybe we could share that also with our local newspaper, so that he can have both sides and share that for everybody, so that maybe there's more people that want to know what's going on. And we need to do better. But really excited where we're going as a community and what's going on. And our 100-year anniversary is this year, August 16th. So you're going to start seeing more of the 100-year information out there. We're going to be talking about it a lot more, and we're going to have a wonderful celebration. More of that to come. Our events coordinator, Corey Billings, is working directly with the council and city manager and members of the community. This will be a community-based celebration, so all civic organizations will be offered a chance to participate in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. So also, public notice, tomorrow, not the entire Fruitland project, but portion of it, because there's 2 portions of the Fruitland project. 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. Director Thompson will be giving an update on the Fruitland project. Hopefully you guys got a letter on that. You didn't get a letter, okay. Well, we're going to include you in that conversation tomorrow too, and get your answers tonight. So that on that Fruitland project, it will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then Wednesday night 6 to 7 p.m. for both, so we don't have too many people in the chambers at one time asking questions. But we want you to come down and ask questions, just like our other residents did, and we need to stay informed. And there's a lot going on, and I'm really excited, and I think that's all I had to say. Thank you guys for coming down, and meeting adjourned.